We're here to learn about how Mercola supplements are formulated with painstaking care and strict quality control to help you take control of your health. First is the rigorous quality check of ingredients used at RFI, which manufactures many of Mercola's highest quality natural supplements. Dr. Mercola, visiting RFI's manufacturing facility in Loveland, Colorado, shows us the rigorous testing that each product undergoes, using state-of-the-art equipment. This testing ensures that every product is free of contaminants and delivers what's on the label.
Hi, this is Dr. Mercola, and I want you to know that in fact dietary supplements are regulated by the FDA to make sure that you are provided with a high quality supplement that is unadulterated and has what it says on the label. And today we're going to show you what some of those tests are and how the company that we work with goes above and beyond those requirements to provide you with the highest quality supplements. Today we're in Loveland, Colorado with the home of RFI. And we're here today with Shauna, who is a quality control director for RFI. And she's going to describe some of the equipment that's used to make sure that you're getting the highest quality supplements possible.
Well, right here where me and Dr. Mercola are standing is our VIDAS machine. This tests for our pathogens. So Salmonella, E. coli, 𝗚𝗏𝗄, Listeria, and Staph are all tested with this machine. We test our raw material suppliers as well as the intermediates.
If I can just interrupt here too,
products.
this machine exceeds the standard requirements that are expected of the industry. In fact, this is the same type of equipment that the FDA uses to test for any contamination in supplements or food products.
Well, we used to and can still run the USP method as well as the AOAC methods. But this VIDAS machine, as Dr. Mercola pointed out, is used by the FDA to test any food outbreaks that there are. And these have also been AOAC approved as well. So
this is state-of-the-art equipment.
Yes.
You can't really get any better than this.
No, this is something that a lot of food companies are using, as well as you can use them in clinical settings. They have over 200 tests for testing different pathogens that they can find in humans as well as in food.
And why don't you run by us the process that's involved to make sure that every step of the way, from the raw materials that are first received in your company, when they first come in, to every step that those raw materials are processed, so each step that this test is done to make sure there's no contamination in the process.
Yes. So when our raw materials come in, we have a specification sheet where we go through and we do the 6 basic microbiology tests, which are total plate count, yeast and mold, coliform, Salmonella, E. coli, and Staph. We can also test for Listeria and Pseudomonas here. That all depends on what our customer requires. And once the raw material passes our specification, we release it to production, which then make the blend. We get a sample of the intermediate bulk blend, go through the same test processes again for that specification for the bulk, and then we release that to production, and then production will bottle or encapsulate it for you. And then we get a final bottle, and we test those to yet another set of specifications to make sure that it is completely unadulterated and not contaminated by the end.
So with respect to microbial contamination, because there's other assays that are done, but this process, this step of the process is going to make virtually certain that there's not going to be any bacterial or microbial contamination in the finished product.
Correct. And we also test our equipment before they start working in production with an ATP swab machine so that we guarantee that the equipment does not contaminate as well.
Yeah, so it's a very comprehensive process. Okay, so let's go to the next piece of equipment. So even though this high quality machine in the state of the art is performing all the material that's produced in the final, before the final product is delivered, there's yet another microbial assay that's used. So why don't you explain a little bit about this one for us, Shauna?
Now this one is our tempo machine, and it does total plate count, coliform, Staph, E. coli, yeast and mold, and Enterobacteriaceae. we are able to minimize our testing time from the normal 5 days for yeast and mold. We can now do it 3 days, yeast and mold. Total plate count, we can take it from 2 days to 1 day. And this machine with the VIDAS is what our company we bought it from, they call it a mobile lab, so that your company is able to be right there and guarantee your products.
Yeah, so there's another level of assurance to make sure that you're getting a high quality product that's not contaminated with any microbial issues.
Yes.
Okay, now we are here with the FTIR piece of equipment, which is what is done to make sure that you're getting exactly what's on the label, because we've already showed you the equipment that confirms that there's no microbial contamination, but this will make sure that the raw materials and the ingredients that are listed on the label are identical what we're saying is in the label. So, and there's a process, and Shauna will describe what that process is to confirm that the material is what it's supposed to be.
Yes. So up here at the top of the machine is a diamond crystal. We place the powders on top, and by applying pressure to the top of it, we then run infrared spectroscopy through it, and the way the powder reacts with the crystal gives us a fingerprint that we then compare to a known standard that has been tested either by HPLC or TLC or some other known DNA testing, so that we can for sure say this has been unadulterated.
Yeah, in other words, because some of these raw materials are very expensive,
yes,
and they can be, the profits of the company selling them can be increased radically by mixing in a diluting substances like sugar or something that's,
yes,
and it's very difficult to know unless you do some type of assay or test. So this confirms that even though you work with reliable vendors, I mean, if you found that they were doing this, they would be fired immediately, but things change, so you have to always validate. This is not just done once, this is done at every single sample that comes into the
just like the
facility.
Microbial testing.
Right.
It's done
It's
at
not
every
a one-time
step.
deal, it's done on a regular, continuous basis. So that's why you have a job here, because you're
Yes.
Director of Quality Assurance.
Yes.
All right. Okay, we've switched positions and we're now in a lab that's going to measure something called ORAC, which is short for oxygen radical absorbance capacity. And this is a number that is done on supplements that are antioxidants, because we like to have a number that can compare the relative potency of each antioxidant to each other and also confirm the potency of a specific antioxidant. So this is a test that's performed. Many companies actually outsource this process, but RFI actually does it in-house, and they do it on a regular basis.
Yes.
So Shauna's going to describe how this ORAC test works.
Okay. So again, we do this on our raw materials when they come in, as well as the intermediate bulk and the final product bottles. This machine here uses these trays, and it is a fluorescence machine. So we actually make a solution with the powders using either acetone or ethanol. We add fluorescein to them, and then we also add another compound called AAPH. And that actually attacks the antioxidants. The fluorescein attaches to the antioxidants. So when the AAPH starts to break down the antioxidants, we can actually watch the maximum fluorescence drop down as the antioxidants break down. And those give us our curves where we calculate the value off of.
And you get a very precise number.
Yes.
That you know that's true. And that's done, like you said, for each and every batch. This is not something that's done once and maybe repeated in 5 years.
Yes.
So every time a new batch of raw materials come in, you perform this assay so you confirm it's actually what it says it is.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, we're here with the HPLC machine, which is short for high pressure liquid chromatography. And this is a tool that not only measures what is in the raw material or the finished product, but how much of it is in there. So it's a qualitative and quantitative assessment of that. And it makes sure that there's absolutely no contamination. It's done in conjunction with the other piece of equipment we showed you earlier. So it's just a powerful combination to make sure you're getting the absolute highest quality, uncontaminated product that's possible.
Yes.
So Shauna will describe some of the specifics of how this HPLC test is performed.
Okay, so what we use is a reverse phase HPLC, which means these columns here are packed with a non-polar substrate, usually silica with some kind of compound added to them. We use a polar mobile phase that then pulls our product through the column, and things with a higher polarity come off first, and the things that actually are more non-polar come off last. And these different peaks give us another fingerprint, just like the FTIR did, where we can quantify not only what's underneath the peaks, but the number of peaks will tell us what the product is.
Yeah, so the combination of the two make it virtually impossible for anything that's not supposed to be there,
Yes.
undetected. So
Yes.
it's provides a high quality assessment of what's in your product to confirm the potency and the fact that it's not adulterated.
Yes.
Stay tuned for more informational videos about Mercola.com's partnership with RFI Manufacturing and our commitment to quality by helping you take better control of your health.